Hi there and welcome back to Dragonfall. I'm Baron. Let's talk to Amsel. Welcome back, Anya Juliet Laval. How did the meeting with Frau Müller go? I accepted the job. Any ideas how to tackle this? Yes, a few. Frau Müller has provided us with detailed information on the facility. I've vetted the information and it seems to hold up. Based on this intel, I have formulated what I believe will be an effective strategy to bring down the building. According to Frau Müller's intel, the facility is extraordinarily well guarded. Whatever this bloodline project is, the Aussies have spared no expense to defend it. The facility is patrolled by its technology's internal security personnel. On their own, they would pose a challenge, but I don't doubt that you could brute force your way through them. Unfortunately, they will not be on their own. Its technology has purchased one of Knight Errant's more expensive security contracts as an additional line of defense. So kicking in the front door is out then. Amsel nods. I should say so. I've pulled some strings with an old contact of mine and he's provided me with the address of a small software developer, OTK International. They write the firmware updates for Knight Errant's comm systems and their defenses should be considerably weaker than its technologies. My contact has informed me that OTK stores an off-site hard copy of every firmware update it develops for data security purposes. My suggestion is this: you hit the offices of OTK International and use their computers to slack. In the interim, I will have the hard copy of their next update replaced with a compromised version. When OTK's next update goes live, our compromised version will be pushed out to Knight Errant. When you hit the Ads Technology facility, I'll be able to track Knight Errant via their comlinks. This should make the run much more manageable. He fishes in his pocket for something. A moment later he produces a corporate ID with your face on it. This will get you through the front door of the office park that contains OTK International. My contact was only able to provide me with the one card, so you'll need to let the rest of your team in through a side door. Alright, sounds like a plan. Very good. OTK offices aren't far from here. You should take the U-Bahn there when you're ready. Anything else? No, nothing apparently. Anything here? We already had that. Do you have anything new to add, Dietrich? Dietrich greets you with his familiar wry smile. Anya Juliet Laval, what's new? I'm curious, Dietrich, why did you switch from fronting a band to running the Shadows? Honestly, working the stage was getting boring, boss. Spitting and screaming at the world was fine and good when I was a kid, but it just didn't do it for me anymore. The Dragon Slayer wanted me to fight a real enemy, so I left the band behind and turned to the Shadows. He shrugs. I don't know, guess I figured that'd be the best way to find one. Considering current events, I'd say you're not wrong about that. Yeah, I guess. Feels kind of daunting, truth be told. But it's exciting all the same. I've been looking for a worthy adversary for a while now. It's kinda satisfying having a white whale to chase. How long have you been looking for a real enemy? He shrugs. Not too long, ever since I took down the last one. Who was that? Of course, I might be able to sit around feeling pleased with myself if I followed the Creator or the Moon Maiden, but the Dragon Slayer ain't that kind of idol. If I'm not drinking, I'm fighting, and if I'm not doing either of those things, I'm looking for a bigger, better fight to get in next time. Dietrich produces a flask from his jacket pocket and raises it in salute. It's a remarkably simple code to live by. Who was this last one? Gang boss. A great big orcish bastard called the Wildschwein. That's a boar. Led the local chapter of the Horde. I'd had my sights set on him and his for a while. They'd hurt a lot of people and I figured they'd pose a challenge. I wasn't wrong about that, but I took him out in the end. Dietrich, when does this pattern end? With his death, of course. Well, boss, the way I figure it, it'll end when I pick a fight that I can't win. He smiled sadly. Might be this one, maybe the next. It'll be hard to top a great dragon. But that's the way the Dragon Slayer wants it, and who am I to refuse him? Abruptly he turns away. That's enough talk for the day, boss. Besides, you've got other things to do, I'm sure. Thanks, Dietrich. Any updates on Alexander? Nothing new, boss. He's adjusting. It's gonna take some time. Any thoughts about the last run you'd like to share? Not right now. Okay, I was thinking what you told me earlier. You said that your idol was going to make you pick a fight that you couldn't win. He shrugs. It's bound to happen eventually, probably sooner than later. Isn't there something that you can do to stop that from happening? Well, I suppose I could refuse, but that probably wouldn't be a good idea, especially not now. Remember, boss, the Dragon Slayer is where my magic comes from. If I turn away from him, you'd better believe that he'll turn away from me. Besides which, I don't even know if I can refuse him anymore. He's been with me for so long, I don't know where he stops and I begin. He grins at you. Don't worry about me, boss. I've known that this was coming for my entire life, and when it happens, I'll go down in a blaze of glory, the likes of which you can't even imagine. That's a promise. What if you were to pick a fight with a different kind of dragon, say maybe a gang or a corporation? He pauses for a moment. That's an interesting idea. If it were big enough and he needs enough, he might be satisfied. I've never tried to bargain or negotiate with a Dragon Slayer before. I'm not sure how I feel about it, and I don't know how he'd take it either. The Dragon Slayer doesn't like to be questioned, and his temper is even shorter than mine. But I'll tell you what, boss, I'll think about it. I can't really believe that your idol wants you to commit suicide. Of course not. The Dragon Slayer doesn't want me to die, but he does want me to kill dragons. That ain't supposed to be safe or easy. It isn't my idol's fault that I'm getting too old to keep up with his wishes. Okay. Anything else? Apparently not. So, what's in our stash? A few medkits. I could buy the sniper rifle, just in case I have to attack someone at a really large distance. But then again, it's probably not necessary. So, do you have anything new to add, my friend? Anya Juliette Liaval, what can I do for you? Do you trust me, Aiga? She pauses for a moment, considering. Finally she nods. Yeah, I do. You weren't that much. I haven't always agreed with your decisions, Anya, but you've proven your competence. It's only fair for me to acknowledge it. Then tell me what happened to your team. This again? Why don't you even care, Anya? Because it's pretty clear that if you had your way, you'd still be with them, and a good leader places a priority on knowing her team. She slowly nods. Alright, I'll tell you. I suppose that you deserve to know. What happened to us was Hoffman. He was a rookie, the kind of some big money corporate, the kid of some big money corporate exec. He looked good on paper and he made it through card training, so he was technically qualified to join the team, but he was way too green to fit in with ours. Still, he wanted to be a hero and his family had enough clout to get him an assignment of his choosing. I don't know how many strings Hoffman said he had to pull to get him assigned to our team, but he pulled them. Hoffman became our 9th squad mate despite Metzger's objections. Anyway, flash forward a few weeks. We were closing in on one of the Russians' mob major trafficking operations. They had been using a series of warehouses 50 miles from the border as a staging area for their convoys. Women and girls from Eastern Europe were being housed there. When the convoys came, they'd be crammed into cargo containers on hold across the border into Germany. To any brothel along the border. Go to any brothel along the border and have a look around. Chances are you will find at least a few girls who spent some time in those warehouses. Slovakians, Hungarians, Poles, you name it. The mob has been smuggling them over for decades. But we were in a position to derail the operation, and we weren't going to let our new addition slow us down. We hit them by surprise, and we hit them hard. Fisher and Brown managed to take down the Banshee that they had patrolling the site. Wolf had reconnaissance drones overhead providing battle tech feeds to the rest of us, and we picked off their gunmen one by one. They had numbers on us, but they didn't know where to hit us. We had eyes in the sky, and we had cover and concealment. Every time they thought they had a fix on us, we'd shift positions and hit them again. They might as well have been fighting ghosts. Then Hoffman broke cover and gave away our position. And after that all hell broke loose. Wolf went down first. The sound of it will haunt me for the rest of my days. An explosion, a choked scream, and then this long, drawn-out, gurgling sound. When he died, his drones went down with him, and there were too many hostiles to track without them. I'll spare you the gory details, Anya. Suffice it to say that my team was wiped out. Iger's face clouds again. You can see the tears beginning to well in her eyes. I watched Metzger die. With a visible effort, she clamps down on her emotions and calms herself. When she speaks again, her voice is flat. I took 3 rounds myself, had to drag myself back across the Oder-Neisse line into Germany. I almost died. So that's the story. My car career died with the rest of the team. Our mission was illegal after all. Off the books. There was no going back for me, so I wound up here. She looks you in the eye, her tone is impassive. Did that tell you everything you wanted to know, fearless leader? Are you satisfied now? Yes, thank you, Iger. So tell me, what's your takeaway from my tale of woes? Figure that you have got to have one. It doesn't matter what I think. What you think and how you act on it is what is important. She pauses to consider. Normally I'd call that a cop-out answer, but I guess that there's some truth to it. In any case, you don't need to worry about me, fearless leader. My baggage isn't gonna hurt my job performance or anything. You might be thinking that I judged you too harshly in the beginning because of Hoffman. You'd be right on that account, I probably did. But everything else that I said after Monica died was justified, whether you want to believe it or not. Giving you command of this team was a hasty decision, made for the wrong reason. I stand by that assessment. But between then and now I have been watching you like a hawk, and you've grown, Anya. You weren't the right choice to lead before, I still believe that, but you are now. Thanks, Iger. Good talk. She nods. Until next time. Okay, let's see whether Gloria has anything to add. We've got a job to prepare for, Anya. I don't have any more time to talk. Hit me up after the run if you like, but for now I need some space. Maybe not. Anything new on the computer front? Any new messages? No unread messages. So we have 2 active jobs. We already had that. Oh, we can claim some payments. That's good. 430 nuyen. Well, okay. 10% fee. That's nice. And for the safe house data, 414. I take that. Nothing here. Anything going on in the Shadowrun BBS? No. Nothing new here. So let's see. We have money, 5,000, almost 6,000. I probably want another one of those. Still have enough medipacks. Let's check the clinic. Let's see whether they have anything new to install. Was up here, if I remember correctly. He probably doesn't like us that much. Like I care. After we forced him to honor his deal with the ghouls. I hope that our recent misunderstanding won't have an impact on our ongoing business relationship. Misunderstanding, Anya, Juliette Laval? I'm sure that I don't know what you're talking about. Well, there were these feral ghouls in the sewers that were eating people because you stopped feeding them medical waste, and Ed's Keeble's eyes widen. His voice explodes out in a harsh whisper. Shut up! Shut up, damn you! Do you want to get all of us killed? On second thought, don't answer that. Don't say anything at all. Here's the deal. You keep your mouth shut and we'll both just pretend that none of whatever happened Deal? Deal. Okay, let's move on to other matters. Yeah. What do you have cyberware wise? Ooh, that's rather expensive. +1 to movement. Ooh, 2 essences. That's quite a lot. +8 hit points, +1 to quickness, +1 to dodge. Now you don't really have anything that I need. What do you have equipment wise? I guess I'll take one of those. Thank you. So, what do we do? Okay, we go to OTK International's offices first, I guess. Sounds like a reasonable thing to do if you ask me. Anything new from you? Simi Kim leans against the wall, her head downcast and her face lost in shadow. Sensing your presence, she looks up, revealing a black eye poorly covered by concealer. And still she smiles at you. Hello, Anya Juliet Laval, how are you? Better than you, looks like. We can't all be runners. Is there something going on around here? There's always something going on. It's the flux, right? It gives, it takes. Sometimes it takes more than it gives. And some things it takes are gone forever. Friends that disappear, family that dies, people like Monica. I don't much like the flux. In The Sims, you can have the same happy day over and over. You can skip past the parts you don't like, or replay the good moments as many times as you want. I can't think of any parts of real life I'd want to play over, and plenty of parts I wish I could skip. How'd you end up in the Kreuzbasar? I don't know. I was living on the street since I was a kid, had no family, no home. I got mixed up with some bad people, and I had a bad day. Ended up owing them money, too much money. I got beat up pretty bad, needed a doctor, but couldn't pay for one. Then I found Doc Edskibel, or he found me. Can't really remember. He said he could help me. He gave me the money up front, but he said that I had to come back to him every month until it was time to pay him back, and I did. I don't really want to talk about this anymore, okay? You take care of yourself. Whatever I have to do. What? Oh. Who hit you? Tell me and I put the bullet into his or her head. Anything new here, I wonder? Nothing. So I guess there's not much else to do. I'm gonna check the cafe quickly. And then we'll head out. You could buy a drone. Would that be a thing? I wonder. A better drone for our dagger rigger thingy, buddy. Requires drone control 5. I don't know what kind of drone control he has, so I guess we'll just have to stall it a bit. Can buy an advanced drone repair kit though, that's always handy. Just in case somebody wants to trash my drone again. Blitz stops out a cigarette as you approach. Anya Juliet Laval, I was hoping to see you. Do you have another run lined up for us yet? I'm strapped for cash. Why the hell are you strapped for cash? With the amount of work we've been doing, you should be rolling in Nguyen. What can I say, Chief? He tries on a thoroughly unconvincing smile, but immediately seems to think better of it. The anxious look returns to his face. I have expensive tastes. How expensive are we talking here? Even if you had a raging cram habit, I think you'd have at least some money left. Expensive. Truth be told, I'm in debt. In debt? To who? He hesitates before responding. When he does, his voice carries an edge of annoyance. No offense, but this is getting a little too personal, Chief. My debts are none of your business. If some bookie sends his thugs here looking for you, it's going to become my business. So talk. Now. Blitz. Oh. Well, bless me. Blitz shakes his head in aspiration. Alright, fine. First off, you don't need to worry about anyone coming after me. My debts are to a bunch of old contacts. Sorry. If I don't pay, then I'm gonna lose them, and in this line of work, this isn't smart to burn bridges. Second, before you ask, those debts are for services rendered. I was in a tight spot, I needed some help, and I drew around a lot of IOUs to get it. I threw around a lot of IOUs. Third and finally, the trouble I was in involved a girl. I'll tell you about it if you ask me to, but we were verging deep into personal feelings territory. So if you don't want to hear my sob over my ex-girlfriend, you'll drop the subject now. So it's up to you, Chief. You really want to go down this road, or shall we keep this relationship professional? You're clearly preoccupied with this, and our line of work preoccupied can get you killed, so spit it out and we'll deal with it. Blitz meets your gaze for a moment and looks away and sighs. Alright, where to begin? I met Emilia in Drogenkippe. She was the first person who was ever more important to me than myself. I was crazy about her, Chief. To this day, she is the only person I've ever met who could outdeck me. And the real kicker is that she wasn't even a decker by trade. There was nothing she wasn't good at. I liked to dabble in rigging, but Emilie, the girl could pick up anything when she set her mind to it. Sounds like a hell of a girl. She was. She just made things right. No matter how stupid I was, no matter what I got myself into, she made it right. I don't think much of many people, Chief. Emotional attachments aren't really my thing. Love seems like a diluted word these days, so I won't waste it on Emilia. Let's just say that she was important to me. And then I lost her. I didn't know what was happening. It came out of nowhere. One day she was just gone, along with most of my decking gear. The only explanation was a handwritten note on old-fashioned paper. Leave me alone. That was it. We'd been together for years, and that was all she left me. That and this beat-up old cyberdeck. Naturally, I freaked. We've had our share of arguments, but we've never had a huge blowout or anything. I couldn't think of anything that drive her to do a thing like that. Mostly I felt hurt, so I searched for her in the real world and in the Matrix. When that turned up nothing, I started tapping my contacts. And that was when I started racking up debt. And so, did you find her? No, she's gone, Anya, without a trace. I looked high, I looked low, I poked into everything I could think of, and my contacts did the same. He shakes his head. She's gone, Chief. At this point, I've accepted that, but I still have to repay those debts. I'm surprised you've given up so easily. There must be some place you haven't looked. He blinks. I don't know, Anya. I really did look everywhere, and at great personal cost. If she means that much to you, you owe it to yourself to try. Yeah, you might be right. He shakes his head. Fuck. I thought I was done with this. But you're right. Without some kind of closure, I'm never going to be at peace with this. Thanks for the talk, Chief. I'll let you know how it goes. You do that, Blitz. Good luck. Okay. Anything else on that front? One look at Blitz's face is enough to tell you that something is gnawing at him. He stands beside his table, playing with a coffee spoon. Hoi, Anya. What you need? Any luck with the search? Yeah, actually. I made some headway. For the first time in a year, I've got a solid lead. I thought I'd looked everywhere. Between my contacts and myself, we scoured all of M's old haunts, both in Meat Space and the Matrix. But what I never thought to do was dig for clues in my own cyberdeck. It seems so obvious now, but back then I couldn't see it. I mean, she was running from me, right? So why would she leave any breadcrumbs for me to find? Anyway, I did some housekeeping and I discovered something. On the morning that Emilia disappeared, some information vanished from my cyberdeck as well. She did a good job of covering her tracks, but I can't see the signs. She grabbed the file and ran. End of story. What kind of data are we talking about? No idea, Chief. I grabbed it on a log when me and Emilia were goofing around the Matrix. The file was encrypted all to hell and I never could get it open. I only took the damn thing because she told me not to. She said that security would be too tight, that I'd get myself killed, but I waltzed on in there and took it all the same. You should have seen me, Chief. It was a thing of beauty. I don't think I've ever been as much on my A game as I was that day. Blitz, where did you take this data from? A corporate database, you know, no big deal. Tell me which corporation, Blitz. Ah, you know, no one important. Blitz continues smiling at you for a second, then looks away. I stole the file from Ed's technology. A tinge of red crawls into Blitz's cheeks. He shovels his feet. In hindsight, it might not have not been the best of ideas. You think? Yeah, I guess. Emilia wasn't too impressed either. Our only real big fight was over that stupid file. Anyway, time passed. Eventually we made up and laughed the whole thing off, or at least I thought we did. Truth be told, I forgot all about it until I realized that the data had gone missing. You know you can't let this slide. Yeah, I know. This whole incident has me rethinking a lot of things. What if she took the file to protect the Aussies? What if she's with them? I've gotta admit, this has me worried. I'm even more torn up now than I was before. He meets your gaze and you can see the concern gnawing at him. I don't know what to do. I'm open to suggestions. You've got a direction to look in now. If I were you, I'd get back into the Matrix and find her. He nods. Who am I kidding? You're right. I won't be able to stop thinking about this until I've found her. So I might as well keep trying. Thanks, Chief. You've been a huge help. Best of luck. Let me know how it turns out. I will, Chief. I will. Anything else on that front? Any thoughts about the last run? Nope. Okay. Anything up here? No, I don't want to buy another Soycav, thank you. So I guess that's it. I guess we have to take the subway now. Or rather the next video. And try our hands on another run. Go down here. Okay, so thanks for watching and see you soon.